I just wanted to do a quick run-through reminder of the 5 parameters we learned. So the first one is hand shape. We have movement, palm orientation, location, and non-manual markers. So the first one we talked about was hand shape, in that there was a lot of different kinds of hand shapes. And those are what shape your hand is making. And so being able to say, hey, you're making the wrong hand shape helps when you're learning ASL, so that you can quickly just change what you're doing in the shape. So some hand shapes that we've learned are like H for name, cup with the C, camp tent. So those are all things that you need to know that you're making the right hand shape. And we'll practice those more. And then you have movement. And there's different things that you can do for those things. Up and down, it could move in and out, it could move in a circle. You could have one hand that's moving like in tree, or you could have two hands that are moving like in book, or like in morning, you could have a hand that's moving up and a hand that's not doing anything. So the movements can be different, and it's important that you have the right movement. So for example, camp or tent, but if you, instead of moving out, you move down, that is the sign for like taking down your tent, because it looks like you're taking down your tent. And again, super important when you're learning ASL to know that. So you're like, hey, that movement is not correct. And then you can fix it. Palm orientation is simply which way your palm is facing. Is it facing out, in, to the left, to the right, down? And if you're left-handed, if your palm orientation is going to be different than if you're right-handed. So that's fine. But again, that helps make sure that you're doing the correct sign. For example, and one that we talked about at the meeting was waiter or serve versus walking. So it's the same hand shape and it's the same movements, but the palm orientation is different and it changes the meaning of the sign. And then location is simply, where are you signing it? Are you signing it on your face? Are you signing it on your chest or your torso of your body? Are you signing it on your shoulders, on your arms, out in the space in front of you? Where are you signing it? So, for example, the sign for life is signed on your torso, but the sign for mom is on your chin. So an example of that would change the meaning would be the sign for mom and dad. So you have the same hand shape, the same palm orientation, the same movements, but as soon as you move the location, you've changed the sign. So mom, dad, mom, dad. So as soon as you change it, it changes the whole meaning of the sign. So you want to make sure that you have the right location. And then finally are the non-manual markers. A lot of these come with being around people in the deaf community and seeing it and practicing it. Non-manual markers are things that are going to add adjectives and adverbs to the language and emotion. So, for examples, asking a yes or no question, you'd raise your eyebrows. Like, how are you doing? Are you going camping? So instead of saying, are you going camping, you would say camping with your eyebrows up. So you don't need are you going, you just need camp with your eyebrows up. So those non-manual markers put a whole bunch of meaning onto a sentence. Camping. Eyebrows down would be for WH questions. Who are you going with? Who? with who? And your eyebrows would be down. Body shifting is a different thing about asking which. If you're going to say things like finish, you'll have mouth movements. Finish. Like Joe was talking about, winter and so winter and cold are the same or similar sign, but the movement of your mouth makes you understand correctly what is being said. So winter, 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 and cold. So those non-memory markers are important, and they are part of the grammar of ASL. So if you have any questions on that stuff, ask Joe or I.